Hey, good morning, sixth grade. We're going to be moving today into area of triangles. All right, and this is going to be similar to area of parallelogram, except there's going to be a few more steps added on. And I know a lot of this looks like a lot, so let's just zoom in and look at the important things as if you were in class. We would make light of everything that's important. Okay, so you found out from the last lesson from area of a parallelogram, excuse me, that the area of a parallelogram was capital A for area, and then it was base times height. Okay, so now what we're adding in is another piece of geometry, and we're still doing area equals base times height, but then you're going to take that answer and you're going to divide that answer by 2. All right, so the extra step now is using the same formula for area of a parallelogram, but then you're going to take your answer and divide it by 2 after you multiply the base times the height. Okay, so let's take a look here at a vocabulary word that's important. You're going to start to hear congruent, and this will be when you're moving up to 7th and 8th grade and on to high school. And the word congruent means that it is the same. Okay, so if they say that this triangle and another triangle are congruent, that means they are the same. They have the same sides, they have the same angles. All right, so it's like it's twin. All right, so let's look at this formula and see how they're doing it. Okay, so we took this triangle right here, all right, and we generated the base, which is the red B, is 6, and the height is 4. All right, we're not paying attention to the fraction right now. You cannot ignore the half right now. And let's figure out, okay, what's base times height? Okay, well, we got 6 times 4, and that gave us 24. Okay, now it looks like it says half of 24, and that's pretty much what it is half of 24. So we're going to divide 24 by 2, and half of 24 is 12. So the area of the triangle is 12. So as long as you start off with the right formula, and if you just substitute the numbers, you should be okay. And you should be able to get through this and solve the area of triangles. It's important that you use, I'm going to go back up here, you use your formulas. And I like this one right here, the A equals BH over 2. All right. This one is it's saying the same exact thing. Again, let's use our word. These are congruent. Okay. These two formulas are congruent. They're the same. This one, I think, to me is a little easier to understand in sixth grade because you're doing the same thing you did for area of a parallelogram, which is base times height. And then you're just going in and dividing your answer by 2. All right. Now, it's not always that simple, of course, because here they gave you B and H, so you just had to multiply and divide by 2. Now, where it's going to get tough here is, for instance, when you have to find the missing dimension, you have to find the missing B or the H. Okay, so if you look at this triangle right here, they gave you H, but they didn't give you B. All right, so you had to do some algebra to get rid of some numbers. All right, so what they did first was they gave you the area this time, so we don't have to find capital A. All right, they already gave you that. So if you look here, we pulled up our solution of our formula, which is area of a triangle, and that is area equals base times height divided by 2. All right, so they replaced A with 24 right there, and they replaced the H with the 6. Okay, so that's step 2. And you guys are going to be having multi-step questions, all right? Now, in order to get rid of that 2 in the denominator, you just multiply it by 2. So we're multiplying by 2 here, and what happens is, let me get my pen. What happens is these two 2's cancel out and turn into a 1. All right. Now, whatever you do to the right side, you had to do to the left, and 24 times 2 becomes 48. Okay. So now we're left with 48 equals B times 6. Okay. And we can't just say B times 6. equals 48. We have to get b by itself. All right. So we're going to do another fraction. And we're going to take the number that's with b and make it the denominator also. So that way the 6 cancels out and we're left with just b. All right. Now, whatever you do to the right side, you have to do to the left side. And 48 divided by 6 is 8. So by doing some algebra, we did some cancellation, and we came to the conclusion that the base of this triangle right here, B, is 8. All right, with the Google Forms, you can just type the number in right now. We're having issues with Google Forms not uh, marking your answers correct when they are, in fact, correct. So for now, you can just put in your numbers. All right, let's go and look at one more example problem. Okay, so here's another example of where they give us capital A and they gave us B. All right, this is B down here. But they don't give us H. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead and let's plug in the numbers they give us. All right, and I'm going to type this out. So I've got capital A as 72. Put in your equal sign, equals. Okay, they give me B, which is 12. And then it's times H. I don't know what H is. Okay, so we're going to figure that out. And then I need to make sure that I divide that by 2. Okay, so that was our first step, is plugging in our numbers with the letters they gave us. Okay, they gave us capital A, which became 72. B became 12. We don't know what H is, and then that's divided by 2. All right, first step is to get rid of the 2. So we're going to multiply by 2. And it's always going to be multiplied by 2 for your second step. You just have to make sure whatever you do to the left or to the right side, you do to the left side. All right. So the 2 times 2 on the right cancels out and becomes a 1. Then we're going to do 2 times 72, which gives us 144 equals 12 times H. Okay. All right. So after a few steps here, I'm going to make some boxes here, some lines so you can see the steps. Okay. All right. We had step 1, and then we had step 2. All right. Now, step 3 is going to be to get rid of that H. All right. So how can we get rid of, to get rid of the 12. Sorry, we need to find out what the H is. So in order to get rid of the 12, we're going to do like we did with the 2's. Okay. And we're going to say this side divided by 2, and this side, by 12, and this side divided by 12. All right. And like you've been seeing in our problem solving with these geometry formulas, when the top number and the bottom number are the same, they've been canceling out and turning into a 1. So I am left with H. Okay. My equal sign is still there, so I'm going to keep the equal sign. Then I'm going to do 144 divided by 12. You can use a calculator if you want, or if you just know your mental math, you can do that mentally. And I want to say that the answer is actually 12, because if we do 144 divided by 12, we get 12. All right, so H is 12.